What if your very thoughts weren't just fleeting whispers in your mind, but actual magnets actively pulling experiences, people, and opportunities into your life? Rhonda Byrne's groundbreaking work, The Secret, argues precisely this, that your mind is a powerful, active transmitter, constantly shaping the very reality you experience. In this deep dive, we're not just scratching the surface. We're going to unpack the core idea behind what's known as the law of attraction, explore a truly practical, actionable method for applying it in your daily life, and provide you with a tangible one-week plan to start transforming your world. Forget the fluff. Our mission today is to deliver clear, actionable insights curated specifically for you.
And our mission, critically, is to explain the law of attraction through a, let's say, skeptically friendly lens. We'll translate its core beliefs into practical, actionable habits that directly affect your thoughts, your emotions, the language you use, and even the environment you cultivate around you. We're going beyond theory, offering real-world examples, many tailored to an Indian context, and equipping you with a clear 7-day action plan, alongside crucial cautions about its responsible application. This isn't about magical thinking, well, not exactly, but about intentional living.
All right, let's truly unpack this, because the core idea of The Secret boils down to something incredibly simple, yet, wow, profoundly impactful, like attracts like. This isn't merely a catchy phrase or, a spiritual platitude. It's presented as a fundamental, immutable law of the universe, much like gravity. As Bob Proctor and Dr. Joe Vitale, two of the prominent voices in The Secret, put it so clearly, everything that's coming into your life, you are attracting into your life. It's what you're thinking. Whatever is going on in your mind, you're attracting to you. This suggests that your thoughts aren't passive internal monologues. They're active, creative forces, constantly sending out a signal.
Right. And to elaborate on that, it's essential to understand the underlying mechanism, as described by experts like John Assaraf and Dr. Joe Vitale. They explain that a thought has a frequency. Now, for a skeptical mind, that might sound, well, abstract, but think of it less like a literal radio wave in the air and more like a consistent mental pattern. Every thought, every feeling creates a particular vibrational state within you. These consistent states are what are sending out that magnetic signal that is drawing the parallel back to you. The universe, in turn, is depicted as a giant mirror responding to these frequencies, essentially reflecting back what you're broadcasting. This entire creative process, while profound, is then distilled into a deceptively simple 3-step loop, famously articulated by Lisa Nichols. Ask, believe, receive. It's a complete cycle, and each step is vital. But here's where it gets truly powerful. It's not just about the thought itself. It's the intensity behind it. The source material emphasizes, feeling is desire, and desire is love. Thought impregnated with love becomes invincible. What this means is that your emotions act as the amplifier for your thoughts. The deeper and more positive the emotion, especially love and gratitude, the stronger and clearer the signal you're sending out, and the more potent your creative power becomes. Now, for our skeptically friendly approach, it's absolutely crucial to clarify the scope here. This deep dive focuses on mindset and behavior alignment. Not magical thinking in the sense of, wishing for something and it appearing out of thin air without any effort. We're looking at how conscious, consistent thought patterns can profoundly influence your perception, your actions, and ultimately the outcomes you experience in your life. It's about consciously guiding your internal state to align with your desires, which then guides your external actions, rather than, say, bypassing logical steps or replacing diligent effort with mere wishing.
That distinction is incredibly important because for many, the idea of thoughts being magnetic or having a frequency can immediately trigger skepticism. How does The Secret bridge that gap between what might sound mystical and something more historically or even scientifically grounded? It makes some bold claims, tracing this great secret through history. Rhonda Byrne's personal journey to uncovering this began with a 100-year-old book, and she then identified historical figures like Plato, Shakespeare, Newton, Beethoven, Lincoln, Emerson, Edison, Einstein. A truly formidable list of intellectual and creative giants who allegedly knew and applied this very law. It makes you wonder what deeper wisdom they were truly tapping into.
Well, what's fascinating here is that the law of attraction isn't presented as a novel New Age concept, but rather as an ancient, rediscovered wisdom that has echoed through time. The sources suggest that poets, musicians, artists, and thinkers across centuries have alluded to it in various forms. There are even references to the ancient Babylonians, renowned for their documented prosperity and ingenuity, as a civilization that deeply understood and applied these universal laws to create their thriving society. This historical perspective helps ground the idea, suggesting it's not a fleeting fad, but, a perennial philosophy. Then, when we connect this to the bigger picture, modern quantum physics is often referenced as offering a compelling, albeit debated, parallel. Dr. Fred Alan Wolf, a quantum physicist, states, "You can't have a universe without mind entering into it, and that the mind is actually shaping the very thing that is being perceived." Dr. John Hagelin, another physicist, takes it further, elaborating that the universe essentially emerges from thought, and all of this matter around us is just precipitated thought. Now, it's vital to note that this interpretation of quantum physics is still a subject of scientific debate and, frankly, a philosophical extension of the science. The authors of The Secret are drawing parallels based on certain philosophical implications of quantum mechanics regarding the observer's role in shaping reality. For our purposes, the insight is less about literal particle manipulation and more about the profound interconnectedness of observation, intention, and potential reality. It suggests that our internal world is far from passive. This leads to the powerful analogy of you being a human transmission tower, far more powerful than any artificial television tower. Your thoughts and feelings are constantly transmitting a frequency that, according to The Secret, creates your life pictures. So the ultimate message is profound in its simplicity. If you want to change anything in your life, change the channel and change the frequency by changing your thoughts. This isn't about denying external reality, but about recognizing your internal capacity to influence it.
So if we are indeed these powerful human transmission towers constantly broadcasting our internal state, then it logically stands to reason that your life right now is a reflection of your past thoughts. This includes everything, the positive experiences, the challenges, the opportunities, the setbacks, everything in between. Bob Doyle and Lisa Nichols emphasize that this law is absolutely impartial. It simply responds to the dominant frequencies you're sending out, without judgment. And here's where it gets really interesting and often quite eye-opening. Most people, without realizing it, fall into what's called the don't want epidemic. We spend so much of our mental energy, our focus, and our conversation on what we don't want to happen. For example, you might be driving to an important meeting thinking, I don't want to be late, or I hope I don't get stuck in traffic. But according to this principle, the universe, this impartial creative force, doesn't register the don't. It just hears late or stuck in traffic, and boom, you might find yourself hitting every red light. That's a powerful and perhaps unsettling thought for many.
Right. And this raises an important question, and it's a common stumbling block for many who first encounter these ideas. Why doesn't the law of attraction compute negation? The source material is very clear on this. It doesn't compute don't or not or no. When you intently focus on something, even with the intention of avoiding it, the law of attraction primarily registers the subject of your focus. So if you say, I don't want to be broke, your dominant frequency is still broke or debt. And the energy and attention you're giving to the absence of money rather than its presence means you will likely attract more debt or scarcity, not less. It's counterintuitive, but that's the idea. Michael Bernard Beckwith provides a crucial reminder here. Creation is always happening. Every time an individual has a thought or a prolonged chronic way of thinking, they're in the creation process. You are always creating, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. The universe is constantly responding to your dominant thoughts and feelings. Lisa Nichols offers a truly insightful perspective on what might seem like a drawback: the time delay in manifestation. Imagine if every fleeting, anxious, or negative thought instantly manifested. Chaos, right? The delay, she highlights, is actually a benefit. It gives you a crucial grace period to reassess, to make a new choice, and most importantly, to shift your frequency before your thoughts fully materialize. A powerful and moving example of this comes from Robert, a student of Bill Harris. Robert was experiencing constant harassment because he was gay, feeling like a victim of circumstance. By consciously shifting his focus from what he did not want, the harassment and negative attention, to what he did want, appreciation, respect, and positive interactions, his entire experience transformed within weeks. Coworkers stopped bothering him, people on the street left him alone, and his comedy routines, which he had been performing for years to little acclaim, suddenly started receiving standing ovations. This demonstrates the profound, tangible power you have to change your reality by simply changing your dominant thoughts and the emotional frequencies you're emitting. It's about taking back control of your internal world.
It's clear that our thoughts are these potent forces, constantly shaping our reality, often unconsciously. But trying to monitor all 60,000 thoughts we have each day, as Marcy Shimoff notes, would be an utterly exhausting, if not impossible, task. Thankfully, The Secret points us to a brilliant shortcut: our incredibly sensitive inner compass, our feelings. Our feelings are a direct, real-time indicator of what we're thinking. Our feelings let us know what we're thinking. Simple, but profound.
Absolutely. Feelings are, as Bob Doyle highlights, an incredible gift. They serve as a sophisticated, real-time feedback mechanism. Think of them as your emotional GPS. When you feel good, joyful, abundant, grateful, peaceful, that's a clear signal that you're on the right track, aligning with your desires and emitting a high positive frequency. Conversely, when you feel bad, anxious, angry, frustrated, sad, that's an immediate indicator that you're off track, focused on thoughts that are out of alignment with what you truly want. It's truly impossible, as the sources explain, to feel bad and simultaneously be thinking good, positive thoughts. Your feelings are a direct, often instantaneous consequence of your dominant thoughts. And this is critical. If you persist in bad feelings, if you continue to dwell in those low-frequency emotional states, you are essentially amplifying that negative frequency. You're sending out a powerful, clear signal that says, bring it on. Actively insisting more negative circumstances and experiences into your life that resonate with that emotional state. This isn't about shaming negative emotions, not at all, but understanding their role as a signal, a vital signal.
So it really boils down to this, and it's a powerful, almost provocative statement. You can have whatever you want in your life, no limits. But there's one catch. You have to feel good. This isn't just a powerful statement. It's a profound paradigm shift. It moves the focus entirely from external circumstances and endless striving to your internal emotional state. It suggests that your feelings aren't just a byproduct of your life, but a critical input that shapes your life.
What's truly fascinating here, and often misunderstood, is that you don't have to wait for your external circumstances to change or for a desired outcome to manifest to start feeling good. This is a common trap people fall into. I'll be happy when I get that job, when I have that money, when I find that partner. You know the drill. Michael Bernard Beckwith offers incredibly practical advice. You can begin right now to feel healthy. You can begin to feel prosperous. You can begin to feel the love that's surrounding you, even if it's not there. The universe, in its impartial way, responds to the nature of your inner feeling, your dominant emotional frequency, not just your current outer reality. It's about cultivating the feeling of having what you want right now. To intentionally elevate your frequency and shift your emotional state, simple yet highly effective techniques can be employed. Try closing your eyes and holding a genuine smile for just a minute, or focusing intensely on a positive memory or a future event you're excited about, really allowing yourself to feel the joy. This is where the concept of secret shifters comes in, actively creating a personal list of things that instantly change your mood. This could be beautiful memories, upcoming future events you're genuinely excited about, funny moments or inside jokes, spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones, listening to your favorite music, or even simply petting your cat or dog. These are tools you can deploy quickly to recalibrate your emotional state, putting you back on a high-frequency channel. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the highest and most powerful frequency of all is the power of love. James Ray and Marcy Shimoff both emphasize this unequivocally. There is no greater power in the universe than the power of love. The profound implication is that thinking unkind thoughts or harboring resentment, for instance, harms only you by dragging you into a lower frequency and attracting similar negativity. Conversely, consciously radiating love, whether for yourself, for others, or for life itself, benefits you by aligning you with the mightiest creative force available. As the source powerfully states, thought impregnated with love becomes invincible. This resonates deeply with Albert Einstein's profound question, is this a friendly universe? And the idea that believing it is, well, makes it so. Your core belief about the nature of the universe directly shapes what it reflects back to you.
Okay, so we've covered the fundamental what, the law of attraction, and the why, the incredible power of our feelings as our inner compass. Now, for the critical how, putting the creative process into concrete action, it begins with step 1. Ask clarifying your desires. Think of the universe as an ever-attentive, infinitely capable Aladdin's genie, always standing ready to respond with, your wish is my command. And it's an incredibly responsive, taking every thought, every word, and every action as a command, a blueprint for creation.
Right, and the absolute crucial aspect of the ask step is clarity. Vague wishes lead to vague results. Lisa Nichols and Bob Proctor both advise writing down your specific request in the present tense as if it has already occurred. A powerful starting point, recommended in the sources, is to begin with the phrase, I am so happy and grateful now that. This immediately puts you in a state of gratitude and belief. Let's use an Indian context example for clarity. Instead of a vague desire like, I want more money, you would articulate it precisely. I am so happy and grateful now that I earn €1,050,000 per month from my consulting business by March 31st of next year. This specificity is vital because, as you mentioned, a mixed or unclear frequency leads to mixed results or, well, no results at all. Here's a key language upgrade. You only need to ask once, definitively, like placing an order from a catalog. Repeated asking can imply doubt, sending a mixed signal to the universe, almost as if you're checking to see if your order went through, suggesting you don't fully trust it. Furthermore, replace those prevalent don't want statements like I don't want to be broke or I don't want to lose this client with clear, positive do want outcomes. So instead of focusing on being broke, you would state, I am learning to manage cash flow. I close one client weekly. This actively shifts your focus and therefore your frequency to what you desire to manifest.
Okay, makes sense. Once you clearly and specifically asked, step 2 is believe, cultivating unwavering faith and powerful visualization. This is often the most challenging step for people because it requires a profound internal shift. Lisa Nichols articulates this beautifully. Believe that it's already yours. Have what I love to call unwavering faith, believing in the unseen. The core idea is to act, speak, and think as if you have already received it. It's about embodying that desired reality now in your present moment. It's a full-body, full-mind commitment to the idea that your request is not only coming, but is already here.
Exactly. The universe, as we've discussed, acts as a perfect mirror to your thoughts and feelings. If your current internal dialogue and emotional state are focused on not having it yet, or hoping it might happen, then you will continue to attract not having it yet. You must shift your internal state to the feeling frequency of having received it. This is where make-believe comes into play, as Dr. Joe Vitale suggests. He encourages us to be like a child, to act as if you have it already. Claim what you want by immersing yourself in the feeling and belief that it's already yours. Visualization is an incredibly powerful tool in this step, allowing you to access and cultivate that feeling. Charles Hannell and Dr. Dennis Waitley describe it as powerfully focused thought expressed in pictures which naturally generate strong feelings. Consider the remarkable example of Olympic athletes who use visual motor rehearsal, mentally running their event with such vivid detail that the same neural pathways fire and muscles subtly activate as if it were real. This demonstrates the mind's profound inability, really, to distinguish between what's vividly imagined and what's actual reality. When visualizing, Mike Dooley advises focusing only on the end result with rich sensory detail. For instance, if you're visualizing a new car, don't focus on the process of buying it or the money coming in. Instead, immerse yourself in the feeling of having it. See your hands on the steering wheel, feel the leather interior, hear the purr of the engine, smell the new car scent, feel the excitement of driving it. Dr. Joe Vitale emphasizes making it a holographic experience. So real, so immersive that you don't feel you need it anymore because it feels like you have it already. This is where the magic happens. And here's a crucial point, a common pitfall to avoid. Don't get caught up in the how. Jack Canfield and Bob Proctor clarified that the how is the universe's domain. Trying to intellectualize or force the how indicates a lack of faith in the process and often limits the infinite possibilities the universe might have for delivering your desire. Trust that the way will be shown. If doubt does creep in, which is perfectly natural, Lisa Nichols advises releasing it immediately. Replace that doubtful thought with a strong affirmation like, I know I am receiving now, and actively feel that certainty, shifting your emotional frequency back to belief.
That brings us to step 3. Receive, aligning yourself with the flow of what you've asked for and believed in. This isn't a passive waiting game. It's an active state of readiness and resonance. Lisa Nichols and Marcy Shimoff both emphasize the profound importance of this. Begin to feel wonderful about it. Feel the way you will feel once it arrives. Feel it now. It's about cultivating that emotional state, that feeling of arrival and fulfillment in the present moment.
Precisely. Michael Bernard Beckwith explains that this truly is a feeling universe. Intellectual belief, while a starting point, isn't enough. You must cultivate the feeling of having it. When you feel good, when you're in that state of joy, gratitude, and anticipation, you are inherently on the frequency of receiving, opening yourself up to allow all good things to flow into your life. To reinforce this state of readiness, immediate affirmations are incredibly helpful. Powerful declarations like, I am receiving now, I'm receiving all the good in my life now, I'm receiving, fill in your desire now. And critically, you must truly feel the truth of those words as you say them. This active state of receiving naturally leads to what we call inspired action. This isn't forced effort, grinding away at tasks you dread. On the contrary, inspired action feels effortless, joyful, and deeply aligned. It's like flowing with the current of the river rather than going against the current by trying to force things. It's acting to receive, doing things that feel good and right in the moment, rather than acting to make it happen out of a sense of struggle or lack. Dr. Joe Vitale adds a vital point. The universe likes speed. Don't delay. Don't second guess. Don't doubt. Act. When you get that gut feeling, that intuitive nudge, act on it promptly. To build faith in this entire process, especially when starting out, Bob Doyle and Bob Proctor suggest starting small. Begin by consciously attracting things that are easily believable and have low emotional stakes, like attracting a specific cup of coffee or a convenient parking space. David Schirmer's anecdote about consistently finding parking spaces, even in crowded areas, is a wonderful illustration of how this practice can build unwavering faith. It's about seeing the small miracles that validate the process.
Yeah, the power of starting small to build belief is perfectly captured in the feather story from the source material. A young man, new to these principles, visualized a uniquely marked feather with very specific, intricate markings. He held that image and feeling, and just 2 days later, he found that exact feather right at his feet on a busy street in New York City. This tangible, undeniable experience profoundly proved the law's power to him. It just shows you how specific and precise the universe can be in its delivery when your signal is clear.
Indeed. And this conscious intention extends beyond just attracting physical objects. Prentice Mulford, writing way back in the 1870s, offered an incredibly insightful practice about creating your day in advance. By intentionally thinking about how you want your day to unfold, visualizing smooth interactions, productive work, joyful moments, you are sending elements and forces ahead of your body. This practice helps you avoid the thoughts of rushing, hurry, or conflict that can inadvertently attract unpleasantness. This daily proactive practice of environment design sets the tone for your day and aligns you with the flow of desired outcomes, demonstrating how your dominant mindset shapes not just big goals, but your entire immediate environment and experience. It's a powerful way to start every day.
Okay, now that we understand the intricate three-step process, ask, believe, receive, let's dive into some practical, real-world examples and how these principles can be powerfully applied in different areas of your life, especially within an Indian context. First, let's tackle a big one, attracting money and prosperity. Jack Canfield's story is absolutely legendary. He went from earning a modest $8,000 a year to visualizing a $100,000 bill on his ceiling. This persistent visualization led him to receive a $100,000 idea, which he acted upon, and eventually he became a multimillionaire with the Chicken Soup for the Soul book series. It's a fantastic, tangible example of the law of attraction in action, showing a direct link between clear intention, belief, and massive material results.
Absolutely. What's crucial here for anyone looking to attract more money is that the focus must shift entirely away from the lack of it. The Secret to Money explicitly states it is impossible to bring more money into your life when you are noticing you do not have enough. This is a fundamental mindset reframe. Instead, you must consciously think more thoughts of abundance than of lack. Jack's story wasn't just about wishing, it was about shifting his internal landscape to one of receiving. You can also engage your imagination and make it a playful process. Use tools like the secret check, a blank check from the Bank of the Universe available online, filling it out with your desired amount and feeling the gratitude of having received it. Or, when paying bills, pretend they are checks you're receiving, maybe even adding a zero and feeling that genuine gratitude for the abundance. For an Indian context example related to money, instead of lamenting, I'm broke, a powerful language upgrade would be, I'm learning to manage cash flow, I close one client weekly, and a tangible micro action to pair with that belief. Track 3 daily leads. This isn't just wishing, it's aligning your words, thoughts, and actions. Laurel Langmeyer's advice on language hygiene is also incredibly pertinent. Actively replace limiting beliefs like, you have to work hard for money, with empowering affirmations like, money comes easily and frequently. Combat the automatic, I can't afford that, with, I can afford that, I can buy that, even if it's just a declaration of future capability. Another incredibly powerful action is giving. When you are giving, especially generously and with a joyful heart, you are signaling to the universe, I have plenty. The wealthiest individuals are often the greatest philanthropists, precisely because giving, when it feels good and isn't a sacrifice born of resentment, opens the floodgates for more to return to you, multiplied. As Dr. Joe Vitale reminds us, your job is to declare what you would like to have from the catalog of the universe, and crucially release the limiting belief that money can only come through your current job or familiar channels. The universe has infinite creative ways to deliver.
That's a truly powerful shift in perspective, moving from scarcity to abundance and from forced effort to inspired action. Moving on to harmonizing relationships. Marie Diamond's story of the film producer is quite telling and brings home the idea that our internal state creates our external reality. Initially, he was attracting women who, as he described, turned away from him. This, he realized, was a reflection of his own feelings and the lonely subjects in his paintings. But when he consciously changed his actions by painting himself with 3 joyful women and truly internalizing the feeling of companionship, he started to manifest 3 dates a week and eventually found his ideal partner and married. It profoundly shows how our inner world and even our creative outputs are powerful indicators and creators of our underlying thoughts and desires.
Yes, this is a prime example of actions aligning with desires and the power of environment design. Mike Dooley shares a wonderful anecdote of a woman who desperately wanted to attract her perfect partner. Despite all her visualizations, nothing seemed to happen until she realized a crucial incongruence. Her garage was full of clutter, leaving no room for another car, and she was habitually sleeping in the very middle of her king-sized bed, leaving no literal space for another person. She cleared half her garage, made ample room in her wardrobe, and began sleeping consistently on one side of her bed, literally making physical and energetic space for her partner. My sister Glenda had a similar experience where she consciously packed her suitcases for a dream move and canceled local memberships in anticipation, effectively signaling to the universe that she was ready to attract a move to the U.S. office. These actions, even if symbolic, were powerful nonverbal declarations to the universe of her readiness to receive. Furthermore, Lisa Nichols and James Ray powerfully stress the importance of self-love first. It's a foundational principle. You absolutely must treat yourself with love, respect, and kindness to attract people who will treat you similarly. The critical, often uncomfortable question to ask yourself is, do you treat yourself the way you want other people to treat you? Self-sacrifice, particularly when it comes from a place of obligation without joy, is detrimental. It stems from a lack mentality and can actively block good from coming to you, often leading to resentment. You must attend to your joy first. For an Indian context example for relationships, a great relationship-focused micro-action and language upgrade could be, I appreciate one specific trait in my partner, family member, friend daily, and say it. This consciously shifts your focus from complaints or perceived deficiencies to strengths, which then, by the law of attraction, tend to multiply. Marcy Shimoff powerfully recommends this, writing down everything you appreciate about a person, especially in a difficult relationship, for 30 days to intentionally shift your focus and witness the relationship transform.
Moving from finances and relationships, I'm particularly curious about how these principles apply to something as fundamental as our health. Dr. John Hagelin states, our body is really the product of our thoughts, and Dr. John DeMartini points to the undeniable power of the placebo effect as proof of the mind's incredible capacity for healing. That's a profound claim. The mind-body connection truly is at the core of this, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The mind-body connection is central to these teachings. What's fascinating here is that while the mind is undeniably powerful, the secret doesn't advocate for dismissing conventional medicine. Dr. John DeMartini wisely notes every point of healing has a place, emphasizing that medicine certainly has its place, especially in acute life-threatening situations. The law of attraction is not presented as a substitute for essential medical care, but rather as a powerful complementary adjunct to it. It's about leveraging the mind's power alongside other forms of care. Dr. Ben Johnson explains that all stress begins with one negative thought, and that disease cannot live in a body that's in a healthy emotional state. This offers a powerful mindset reframe about the root cause of many ailments. It's not about ignoring symptoms, but about addressing the underlying energetic and emotional contributors. Dr. John DeMartini further highlights how the high-frequency emotions of love and gratitude can actively dissolve negativity and even disease. He cites Kathy Goodman's incredible story of healing breast cancer through consistent gratitude, unwavering faith, and crucially, laughter watching funny movies to consistently elevate her emotional state. This echoes Norman Cousins' widely documented miracle recovery from a serious illness through daily doses of laughter. This isn't just about positive thinking, it's about profoundly shifting your entire emotional and energetic state, creating an internal environment where illness struggles to thrive. The sources also remind us of the body's incredible capacity for regeneration. Our cells are constantly being replaced, our entire body is physically renewed every few years. Degeneration or illness remains in our bodies for years, the source stressed, only if held there by thought, by observation of the illness, and by the attention given to the illness. Conscious, sustained thought can be used to banish stiffness, restore eyesight, an anecdote shared by the author of The Secret herself, or reverse the effects of aging. Beliefs about aging are dismissed as limited thinking. Instead, you're encouraged to think of your next birthday as your first birthday, to embrace a mindset of eternal youth and vitality. For an Indian context example for health, consider replacing "I'm always tired" with a powerful language upgrade that speaks to capability and action. I'm a walker. 6,000 steps by lunch, protein first breakfast. And a corresponding micro-action would be to actively track those steps and ensure that protein first breakfast. This immediately shifts your focus to proactive health behaviors.
It's truly incredible to consider the body's inherent capacity for healing when our thoughts align with wellness. This brings us to a crucial piece of advice from Dr. Ben Johnson. If you're feeling a little unwell, don't talk about it unless you want more of it. This isn't about denial, but about understanding that where your focus goes, energy flows. Feeding the narrative of illness only attracts more of it. Instead, focus on wellness, on vitality. And then we have the astonishing story of Morris Goodman, often called the Miracle Man. After a plane crash, he was completely paralyzed, unable to speak, and doctors told him he'd be a vegetable for life. Yet Morris used the principles of visualization and unwavering faith, focusing intently on walking out of the hospital by Christmas. He didn't just walk, he actually achieved it. This story truly demonstrates the unfathomable power and unlimited potential of the human mind when directed with absolute certainty.
Morris Goodman's story is an almost unbelievable testament to the power of unwavering faith and meticulous visualization, where he not only pictured himself walking, but felt the sensation, heard the sounds, and planned the exact date. This level of intentional thinking extends to how we design our broader environment and even influence the world around us. Lisa Nichols and Jack Canfield explain a fundamental principle here. What you resist persists. Fighting against something, like anti-war or anti-drug movements, often, paradoxically, creates more of it because our powerful focus is on the negative thing we don't want, rather than the desired positive outcome. Mother Teresa's profound wisdom perfectly embodies this principle. I will never attend an anti-war rally. If you have a peace rally, invite me. She understood the power of focusing on what is wanted, peace, rather than what is not war. It's about aligning your energy with the solution, not the problem. The author of The Secret herself describes making a conscious decision to stop watching the news or reading newspapers because it did not make me feel good, illustrating the active choice to avoid negative frequencies and curate one's informational environment. This is a powerful form of environment design. And to connect this to the bigger picture, Michael Bernard Beckwith and Dr. Joe Vitale clarify that there's more than enough to go around for everyone. They identify the lie that acts like a virus within the mind of humanity as the belief that there's not enough good to go around. This scarcity mindset breeds competition, greed, and lack. The inspiring Belize natural energy example, where a team, specifically trained in mind power, found abundant, high-quality oil where 50 other companies had failed, is a powerful, real-world illustration of overcoming the scarcity mindset by believing in the unlimited power of their mind to create and attract. Finally, Lisa Nichols highlights the transformative power of praise and bless everything in your life as a profound way to reach the highest frequency of love, dissolving negativity and discord, not just within you, but also in your immediate environment and the world you perceive.
This incredible journey through the principles of The Secret leads us to a profound understanding of your magnificence, the creator within. It all begins with a fundamental scientific and spiritual idea that everything is energy. Dr. Ben Johnson and John Assaraf explain that your physical body, the vast ocean, distant stars, every single thing you perceive, it's all energy, vibrating in a specific frequency. And here's the crucial part. Your thoughts and your feelings are literally determining your personal vibrational frequency, your unique broadcast signal to the universe.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you're not merely a passive observer, you are an active energy magnet. When you consistently focus on what you want, you are literally changing the vibration of the atoms within and around you, and this, according to the law of attraction, magnetically draws it to you. James Ray and Dr. John Hagelin delves into the profound idea that you are not a finite, limited body, but an energy field, an eternal energy that cannot be created or destroyed, only changes form. Dr. Hagelin further explains that the universe essentially emerges from thought. Ultimately, we are the source of the universe. This isn't grandiosity, it's a recognition of your profound creative potential, suggesting that there's no limit, really, to human potential. This understanding also means that all knowledge, all discoveries, all inventions, and every creative possibility already exists within the universal mind, waiting for humanity, through focused thought and intention, to draw them forth. And because we are all connected and we are all one, it logically follows that negative thoughts directed towards others ultimately harm only you by lowering your own frequency and attracting negativity. This also means that competition, often stemming from a lack mentality or the belief that resources are limited, only attracts more competition and scarcity into your own experience. The profound shift is to move from a competitive mindset to a creative mind, focusing on your own vision and abundance, knowing there's enough for everyone.
Given this incredible, almost limitless powers that resides within each of us, how do we master our destiny with something as simple yet profound as I am statements? Jack Canfield, drawing from his own powerful experience with an abusive parent, stresses that our past doesn't define us. He asks and challenges us. The real question is, what are you going to do now? What do you choose now? This is about taking back your power right in this moment.
Absolutely. What's truly fascinating here is the almost magical power embedded in those two little words, I am. Dr. Fred Alan Wolfe and Charles Hannell explain that I am statements are not just declarations. They are powerful foundational summonings that initiate creation. Saying I am tired or I am broke quite literally makes it so because you are declaring it as an absolute fact of your being, and the genie of the universe responds with, your wish is my command. The crucial language upgrade here is to consciously reprogram your internal dialogue. Instead of self-limiting declarations, use empowering affirmations like, I am receiving every good thing, I am happy, I am abundant, I am healthy. Charles Hannell offers a comprehensive and powerful affirmation that covers all bases. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. This echoes Henry Ford's famous quote with profound resonance. Whether you think you can or think you can't, either way, you are right. It all fundamentally underscores the incredible power of belief in your own capabilities and your own self-definition. Your greatest power lies in your awareness of that power. One simple yet profoundly effective micro-action for cultivating this awareness is to constantly ask yourself, what am I thinking now? What am I feeling now? Hundreds of times a day. This practice keeps you present, conscious, and helps you remember to remember your inherent creative power. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, truly loving yourself fully by consciously focusing on the life presence inside you, a feeling of pure love and bliss, the perfection of you is the ultimate act of creation. This internal focus helps dissolve perceived imperfections because the absolute truth, as the source states, is that the I is perfect and complete. It's about remembering and affirming your inherent magnificence.
Okay, this deep dive into the secret wouldn't be complete without a practical roadmap for you to begin applying these incredibly powerful principles. So let's talk about your 7-day action plan for intentional creation. We'll give you a clear structure to follow daily and some one-time setups for the week to really integrate these practices into your life.
Okay, great. To start with your daily practice, every morning, begin your day by listing 5 specific things you're genuinely grateful for. This immediately sets a high-frequency tone. Then write down one specific ask in the present tense, as if it's already happened. For example, I receive new client inquiries daily. Follow this with a focused 2-minute visualization, engaging all your senses and truly feeling the end result of that ask. And crucially, commit to one micro-action aligned with your goal. For instance, I will reach out to one new prospect today. For a midday mindset reframe, make it a habit to catch yourself whenever a negative or self-limiting thought arises. Don't dwell on it. Instead, immediately replace it with a positive plan. For example, instead of worrying about bills, I will call one potential client now to explore new opportunities. In the evening, take a moment for reflection. Log 3 wins or positive outcomes from your day, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. And send one message of appreciation to someone, whether it's a quick text, an email, or a heartfelt spoken word. This reinforces the cycle of gratitude and positive connection.
Those daily steps sound really manageable. And for your one-time setup this week, to truly get this process integrated and make it stick, first, create a vision card. This is a small physical card with your primary goal written in one concise present tense line, something like, my consulting business generates $1,050,000 a month monthly. Keep this card visible, perhaps on your desk or in your wallet, as a constant reminder. Second, use environment cues. Set your phone wallpaper or place a sticky note in a prominent spot on your bathroom mirror, by your computer monitor, with your written ask. These visual reminders serve as powerful anchors for your intention throughout the day. And finally, for accountability, share your daily micro-action with 2 trusted check-in buddies who also understand these principles. This external commitment, this social contract, can make a huge difference in staying consistent and motivated.
Right. And when it comes to tracking your progress, here's a crucial insight. Focus intently on tracking your inputs, the actions taken, the messages sent, the pages written, the visualizations completed, rather than obsessing over luck-based outcomes that may not manifest on your immediate timeline. This empowers you by highlighting your consistent effort, building a profound sense of agency and self-efficacy, rather than passively waiting for external validation or instant results. You control your inputs. The universe handles the outputs. Now, it's absolutely vital to approach these powerful principles with crucial cautions and a truly balanced perspective. Firstly, the law of attraction, as presented in The Secret, is absolutely not an excuse to blame victims or ignore systemic factors like poverty, injustice, or social inequality. It acknowledges personal power, but it does not dismiss the very real presence of external challenges or the need for collective action and compassion. Your internal state is powerful, but it's not the sole determinant of all global circumstances.
Yeah, that's a really important point. And it's equally vital to remember that the law of attraction is not a substitute for essential safety nets or professional care. Dr. John DeMartini explains the wisdom of using medicine in acute situations while also exploring the mind's role. If you're experiencing serious health issues, financial hardship, or psychological distress, the principles of The Secret are meant to be an adjunct to, not a replacement for, professional medical care, therapy, or social support systems. It's about integrating a holistic approach, not replacing fundamental care with mere wishing.
Exactly. We strongly encourage you to avoid what's often termed magical thinking. Simply visualizing or affirming without any corresponding action is often insufficient. Instead, pair your belief with evidence-based habits and practical skills. The Secret works most powerfully as a profound discipline, integrating a positive, expectant mindset with diligent, inspired effort. It's about being an active co-creator, not a passive spectator.
We also need to be aware of what's been termed toxic positivity. It's perfectly okay and indeed healthy to acknowledge setbacks, feel negative emotions, and experience moments of doubt. This isn't about denying reality or suppressing authentic feelings. The key, as The Secret teaches, is to then consciously replan, refocus, and shift your energy, rather than dwelling in those negative states. It's about processing, then pivoting, choosing your response to reality rather than being consumed by it.
And finally, a very important ethical consideration for such a powerful tool. Always visualize mutual benefit. Never attempt to manipulate or control other people's free will. Your power to create is intended for your life and your well-being, for the enrichment of your own experience and the positive impact you can have. It is not to control or influence others against their will. Remember, the core teaching is that we are all connected and one, so aiming for mutual good and the highest benefit for all aligns with the highest frequency and the most powerful, loving creation.
Ultimately, as we wrap up this deep dive, The Secret is most powerful, not as a mystical power that grants wishes, but as a profound daily discipline. It's about intentionally designing your thoughts, consciously shaping your emotions, meticulously scripting your language, and critically, consistently moving your feet daily. It's an active, ongoing, and deeply personal process of creation.
So consider this and really let it sink in. If everything around you is truly, in some fundamental way, a manifestation of thought, what single impossible belief about yourself could you choose to release today, making room for your true magnificence and potential to finally emerge?
Right now, pause this deep dive. Take a genuine moment. Write down your one-line ask in the present tense. What's the single 5-minute micro-action you'll take before the next hour ends to bring that ask into being? Your journey to intentional living begins now.